Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us again for our second segment of this Plains Rally 2023, part of the Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship. You're joining us here now for the second segment. Like I say, this is the four-wheel drives. It's been a very exciting and nice start to the day. Really, the weather's been fantastic. The action's been brilliant. We've had a good opening hour or so of competition. It's seen a Mini on its roof rolled into a ditch at the bottom of the section we're on. We are in Alwyn South, around about 2 miles in. Stage length is probably around about 3.5 miles at a guess. But, we'll see our first of the four-wheel drive competitors interview. It's nice to see all that dust in it behind the cars, I must admit. Matthew Hurst, Mark Glenister. Fiesta R5. It's not the Navigator, or not the co-driver we're used to seeing in that Fiesta with Matthew. Declan is away honeymooning himself with wife Gemma over in Costa Rica. Congratulations, guys. I know it was last year the wedding, but I hope you're having a fantastic time over in the sunshine over in Costa Rica. I'm sure they'll be watching the live stream back when they get a chance. I've seen some pictures from there. They've had some fun. Next up then, Perry Gardner, Jack Bowen, Fiesta R5 again. First event this year for Perry. Trying to chase down Matthew, who's currently leading the championship. And obviously first in the W14 class. Quick welcome along to everyone who's watching this on this stream. John Harper, great coverage for the first section. Looking forward to the four-wheel drives. Thank you very much. Oliver Wackett is watching as well. Colin Smith, Fred McLean. David Price, great coverage last weekend on the Manx. My family really enjoyed watching us out on the stages. Thank you. You're welcome. It was a pleasure bringing you the coverage and the footage last weekend. Had a fantastic time on the Isle of Man. It really was a special event, that. Enjoyed every minute of it. Chris Bird, Tony Wilkinson, also watching. Nice to see everyone. This is the Fabia of Bob Morgan, Aid Williams. Just trying to get it stopped in time. Very slippy right-hand corner, the bottom of this hill. We saw on the first stream this morning, it's caught out one of the Minis. Plenty of people running wide and almost spinning and managing to get away with it. So let's see how this next lot get on. Four-wheel drive power to pull them through. First event of the year for Bob Morgan then. Next up, something we don't tend to see too much of in this country. Tom Williams, got Ross Whittaker alongside in the Fiesta Rally 2. Tom's been competing in the States now for the last couple of years. So nice to see him out on the stages in the UK. Throwing it around the top bend just as he goes out of shot there. Really kicking the dust up. Fair play. Driving well. It'll be one to watch today for definite. Really pushing on in that Rally 2 Fiesta. Next up for us then, Pirelli Welsh Championship Cruise. Covering the next 5 numbers. Car 405 should be third overall in the championship and leading class W13. Simon Rogers, James Howe in that Evo 6. Familiar car for Simon. I think it's the ex-Gary Mattilapla car, isn't it? If I remember rightly. It's got some pedigree to it, this car. It knows how to be thrown between the trees. If Yari's driven it, he's probably thrown it into the trees as well, though, in Yari. But still, Nice to see this car being out and about and used. Nasty little compression that coming into these bends. Just a fast right-hander under braking is just catching the front end of these cars. Here the undercar protection, clouds in the floor. But that is Simon with James Howe alongside. Next up, second in the class, W13, and that's Martin Andrews and Steve Greenhull in their Subaru Impreza. We will await them arriving. So far, everyone behaving themselves on this tricky little section. It's very slippy. I said this morning when we went live on the first stream. We drove this stage this morning, and this section of stage has been relaid recently, and the top surface is probably better than it was now, if I'm honest with you, but the top surface this morning seriously loose, really slippy. That's quick in from the Subaru. Good job, it's got four-wheel drive. Car 406, OP sponsored Martin Andrews and Steve Greenhill, managing to drag that four-wheel drive through the undergrowth and keeping it away from that ditch. There is a huge ditch down there. You can't quite see it from here, but a great big car-swallowing ditch on the outside of that bend. So fair play to Martin for keeping his toes in there and dragging that car across the top of the ditch as opposed to into it. So Tom Murphy's watching. Fernando Carvalero, welcome back. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear from you guys. Next up, Daniel Moss, Sam Davies in the Evo 10. Always has a stunning looking car. This one's no exception. This is the Evo 10. Looking for a clean run this weekend. Tony Wilkinson, great coverage, well done Phil and the team. Tony and Gary in service looking after car 410, John Kane and Mark Morris. Yeah, and we've just been saying actually during the break actually that obviously I know the guys in the Evo 3, Jonathan, and it's nice to see the car back out again. And after what happened last year, we knew it had a big off and it needed a lot of work. So fair play to the guys back there. Obviously Tony and the gang looking after that car have done a cracking job getting it all fixed up and patched back together again, because it was it looked
seriously second hand last time I saw it, so I look forward to seeing those guys through.
Paul Walker, Geraint Thomas up next. Subaru Impreza. Green Porsche sponsored Rally Welsh Championship crew. Another crew looking for a clean run this weekend. Wanting to make sure that they get to the end of the stages and get some decent points on the board. No stranger to the championship or to these stages is Wugutting and Bob Stoko, and they're through in their Impreza N12B very shortly. They're currently third in the W13 class, just behind Martin Andrews, who did some ditch skipping earlier on his drive past us. Bouncing the Subaru across this ditch. Tied line from Wolf. So as we've just been mentioned, this is going to be John Kane next up. Mark Morris alongside. Seen the crew out for a good while now, but nice to have them back with us. I'm expecting it to be a lime green Mitsubishi Evo 3. Unless the team have decided to change the colours. That's what we're expecting to see. Pet hire sponsorship down the side of the car, if I remember rightly. Here they come. Certainly is. Tony, you might have some more work to do. Come on, Jonathan, well done. Let's get it back to service, boys. Oh, dear. The freshly rebuilt Mitsubishi Evolution 3 of Jonathan Kane and Mark Morris. Yeah. Service crew sat there watching. I'm sure they'll be chuffed with that. I don't know. Just keeping you on the toes, boys. Just keeping you on your toes. Got out and got going again. Hopefully no damage. It's quite soft under there, so no rocks or anything to hit. A couple of tree stumps, but hopefully they get away with that. And they are back with you in service after a few more stages. Next one up then, car 411. Another crew to be out on their first event this year. This is Peter Bayliss, Paul Godden in their Evo 9. Can't wait to see Tony's comment in a second. Just remember, Tony, it is a family show. Oh dear. I've got nothing to say. I don't know. A few more stages, they'll be back with you, hopefully. Yeah, everyone commenting it was a lucky escape for the crew, managing to get it back on the road. Tom McEwen and Neil Thomas in their Impreza. Unfortunately didn't manage to get to the end of Rally North Wales, so in need of a decent finish here. So it's a relatively small four-wheel drive entry here, but it's full of Welsh Championship competitors. Obviously a fairly large two-wheel drive category. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more cars to come through. Finish on 419, Paul Hulston and Gareth Bent in the Defender. That won't have a problem if it's in the ditch. Something you don't see too many of. This is a Golf. Golf R of Stephen Hollis, or Steve Hollis and Tim Curry. Sounds fantastic. We saw that out on the on Rally Nuts and or Rally North Wales, I forget what it was now, but certainly saw that last time out, and yeah, sounds fantastic. Looks good as well. Nice to see something different. I always like seeing something different, as I say. But yeah, it's a good-looking car. That second Evo 3 should be through next. Yeah, listening into the radio chat. Alan Jones, Geraint Mills in the Evo 3 should be through next. Before we take a look at Richard Keane in the Fiesta, Colin Griffiths in the Impreza, Colin Minton in the R5 Fiesta, Charlie Campbell in the Impreza, and then Paul Hulston in that Defender 90. A little bit of a gap in proceedings as we look to find out what's going on. Here we go. These Group N cars a little bit quieter than what the two-wheel drive historics were. This is indeed the Evo 3 of Alan Jones and Geraint Mills. Steady away for the crew. It's better to have an Evo 3 on the gravel road as opposed to in the ditch. It was quick enough to catch cameraman Wayne out, wasn't it?
Yep.
I think he fell asleep there for a minute. Paul Sutton, great coverage as always. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Here we are then. This is Richard Keane in the Fiesta. Going well with Alan Hayward alongside. And another friend joined me on my notes. All of a sudden just fell from the sky and landed on my notepad next to me. Another beetle. They're quite smart. They've got gold patches on him. I call him Ringo. You don't understand that. You're too young. So, 4 to go. Colin Griffiths. Sean Rowland's up next in the STI. Here they come. Tidy line. The ex-RED car. It's done some stage miles as that. WR03 RED on the registration number. In the hands of many different people. But, still going strong, nice to see. You can hear the R5 grunt. Colin Minton and Bonnie Papa. Get that Fiesta stopped. Nicely done. Dayglow orange looking good. So just the 2 more crews to come through for this first stage of the Plains Rally 2023, organised and run by Knutsford and District Motor Club. It's a round of the Pirelli Welsh Rally Championship. A fantastic morning, lots of excitement and lots of action that we've brought you, and hopefully we'll have something similar this afternoon as well. We're going to make our way slightly further around this section of stage. We're still going to be in the open. It's just we need to get the satellite transmission out to you guys, so we'll be still around this this area of stage, but we'll try and bring you something a little bit different. So this should be Charlie Campbell, John Hawkins in their Impreza. You can still see it's very slippy. Car under. If you could come off the line, it's very marvelly. The car is dancing around on stages. Well, that's his car 418. 2 finishes so far this year for Charlie Campbell and John Hawkins. We wait for our last crew to come through. We turn our attentions to Paul Hulston and Gareth Bent in the Defender 90. Morgan says, yeah, good to see Mossy out again, giving the duck on the top a lift through the Welsh stages. That's right, Daniel Moss in that Evo 10 pink coloured car we saw through has a rubber duck attached to the aerial on the roof of the car, always has, and nice to see that. Here we go then, Defender, last crew through. And that was Paul Hulston and Gareth Bent in their Defender 90, wrapping things up for us here on stage 1 of the event. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back live here again very shortly. It's going to be around about an hour and a half time, I think, before we go live again for the second instalment of the two-wheel drive category cars. But until then, so thank you very much from me and from everybody here at Special Stage. We'll catch you this afternoon. Goodbye.